What up, guys? Oh, I'm here, y'all. I'm just stepping away for like 2 seconds. Think of this as prep time. Okay, time for Gen 2. Already have the thing installed, so I think I know what I went back and read some more and looked at other people that have installed Gen 2 and kind of see where maybe I made the mistake. I'm gonna do a mixture of this and searching, and I'm gonna figure it out. Gen 2 downloads. There we go. Gentoo Linux. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's maybe just do 10, 40, and then create. Boot live kernel. There we go. For now, stage files can be ignored. They will be described in greater detail when they're needed. Stage file is an archive of which serves as the seed for Gentoo environment. Stage file 3 can be downloaded from the release. Auto builds on the official stages update quite frequently and therefore not included with the official live image. Obtaining the media. No, I can do writing a okay. Oh, that's irrelevant. Writing with DD, burning the disk, bootable installation methods, kernel choice. User accounts. If other people need user accounts, and change the root password. If other people need to access the installation run, or if there is a need to run commands as a non-root user, the installation medium such as chat using IRSSI without root privileges for security reasons, then an additional user account needs to be created, and the root password needs to be strong. To change the root password, create a user account. Using documentation while installing TTYs. Let's just make sure I have a network. There we go. Okay, I have a network. Hmm. Oh, handbook. Hmm. There we go. Preparing the disk. Introduction to block devices. Partition table. Is it hard to install it? No, I think it can be done. It's I would say it's harder than like installing Arch probably. Some people can just do Arch so much from like install Arch to the very fast degree that I mean You know what I'm saying? Like hard is a really hard is a difficult word. Because what is hard to you might be easy to me. I don't know. It's I think the what is hard to you might be easy to me, vice versa, especially like this, something like this. Although it's still supporting most motherboards from to boot particularly FAT32, extended file system, swap partition. I think I'll do CF disk. fdisk dev SDA 1G. Hmm. EFI system right there. New. We can make this for G. Type will be a swap. Let's see. Oh, right there. Swap. No, it's not. It's the. Hmm. Linux swap. And then this can just be the rest type Linux file system. Okay, there's my dev VDA1. That's dev VDA2, dev VDA3. Creating the new diskable by removing all partitions. Connecting swap partitions. Creating the root partition. Ooh. Oh shit. Linux root x86 64. I'm gonna clear that out. Fdisk, tag L, Linux root. Okay, beautiful. Okay, now I'm in Linux root. I think that might have been something, could have been messed it up. Being the current partition layout, fdisk, fdsa, creating a new disk, removing all partitions, creating the boot partition. First, creating a small partition will be mounted as boot and partition by pre-permission. Okay. Make sure it starts from 2048, which means, okay. Creating the swap. Oh, yeah, here we go. Within the live environment. Okay. We're going to send it X4. Let's see. Daemon recommends new partition as part of the installation process, but it's also important to note that running any mx command will erase the data containment partition when necessary. Ensure any data exists when partition is back before the file system. File systems. Supported by Lular example. When using the export file in a small partitions less than 8 gigs, the file system should be created within the out proper. Okay. Let's see. So we're gonna do mk this. Hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, 4. Okay. Be fed tag F 32 dev BDA1. All right, beautiful. I have to do that. Okay, make swap. Certain live environments can be maybe missing just a point from gentoo interpretation or amount. Okay. 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 Still going on this? Yeah, of course. That's why it's great. I hit the pendulum a little too hard though. Let me see. I wonder. The stage file acts as the general style. Stage files are generated with Catalyst release engineering team. Stage files are files that are based on profile and contain almost complete system. When choosing stage files, it's important to pick one with targets corresponding to the desired type. When it's possible to make major profile changes, established switching requires substantial effort and consideration. And to decide the scope of this installation manual, switching init systems is difficult by switching from no multilib to multilib requires extensive gentoo and lower level tool chaining knowledge. Let's see. Okay. So OpenRC is a dependency-based init system responsible for starting up system services once the kernel has booted and maintains compatibility with the system provided. System normally local. Gentoo's native and original init system, but also deployed by a few other Linux BSD systems. OpenRC does not function as a replacement for the sbin init file by default as 100% compatible with Gentoo init scripts. This means solution can be found to run dozens of daemons in the gentoo e-builder process. System D is a modern system, multi-lib. Follows uses 64% of everything as possible, only falls back to 32-bit. Interesting. Okay. Before downloading the stage file, the current directory should be set to the location of the mount used for the install. So I'm going to cd. Mount gentoo. Stage everything date. Monday, May 12th. 23:01:38. Okay. Military. Whose reach is not use advanced top option there for atypical or advanced software or hardware configurations. Huh. Okay. Multi-lib provides 64 level impossible. Graphic web. Okay. Did we get command line browsers links? HTTPS. Okay. Okay. Stage 3, OpenRC. Stage 3, System D. Stage 3, desktop profile, OpenRC. Okay. On the mirror, select the mirror closest, usually by. After the stage is please possible concept the following stage, please. Those interested proceed to the next selection. Those not shown verifying updates can close the command browser by pressing Q and can move directly to unpacking the stage. Okay, the file stage. Um, okay. Good luck, man. I'll pop back in later. Oh, oh 07. Oh, wow. Oh 07. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hopefully it works out. Okay, so that's done. I can quit out the browser, exit, ls. Beautiful. Okay. Most stages are not explicitly suffixed with the init system type OpenRC, system D, although some architectures will listing for now. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. I feel like I'm forgetting something for some reason. Once the stage file has been downloaded and verified, it can be extracted using tar xpvf adders yes, OG GNU. True. C mount XATTRS. XATTRS. There we go. It's going to take a minute. Beautiful. Okay, that went through. Okay, so that breaks it down. Configuration, compile options. To optimize the system as possible set of variables. This is the part where I think I made a mistake with flags. I'm going to do a sanity check, and I'm going to try to be super non. What's the word I'm looking for? Where I don't want to steal people's content. I watched this video. It was very good. It kind of explained, I think, a part that I fucked up at. Okay, that, and did that. Very good at explaining, and he got that. OpenRC. I believe this is the part that I needed to do, yeah. Let's do a little clear real quick. So we're gonna do nano mount gentoo EDC etc. Portage make conf. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go back here. Have you heard of the install gentoo wiki? Yeah. It's. Are you talking about like the wiki itself? Oh no, I haven't. Not this. Wiki has been updated and under registered. GP build a PC. Oh, everything on the GNU Linux web browsers. Wow, very cool. This is actually pretty sweet. I did not know about this. Thank you, Ahmed. Anonymizing yourself. This is pretty cool. So there's lots of information on here. Astronomy backups, passwords. Interesting. Huh. I'll have to bookmark that page. I'll have to bookmark that page later. That's pretty cool. There's some cool stuff I'm going to put on there. It is good. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I can already tell. Um, so we're gonna go here. Russ mentioned, guys. I like good, well thought out documentation, though. You know what I mean? Like even if it's like very time consuming to read, or if it's very like good detailed documentation is top tier in my opinion. It's actually run by a 4chan image board called G. That's really funny. I mean, I could see 4chan users being Gentoo users. I get why 4chan gets a bad rap, but I don't think it's as bad as everyone makes it out to be. There's a huge collection of people that are like super into like preserving media on 4chan for some reason. I'm not like a big 4chan user. I'm just aware of the subcultures on there. Hmm. Oh, match tune. Oh yeah, there's example. Okay. You just read this. I'm just gonna keep the volume off. Interesting. Okay. I have the same specs as this person, so I can kind of. Yeah, of course the official wiki is in the indispensable. No, that's cool. I didn't know that was a separate its own wiki. That's very cool. I'm just wondering if like in the long run how cool it's going to be to see the evolution the involvement like of how Gentoo's going to evolve. I've been very curious of it in general, if that makes sense. Like I've always like found it very fascinating, more than Arch even, because I'm like people sit there and compile their own software, which is kind of cool. And I remember the first thing I ever compiled for, like I've compiled something before and I'm like, wow, that takes a long time. And I like how it gives you a lot of choice. If you want to see content about Gentoo specifically, I recommend YouTube channel. Oh, I know Mental Outlaw. He doesn't do Gentoo content anymore. I'm aware of him. Use flags keyword support everyone. Okay. The use flags was kind of there's some confusing parts that I came across. I don't what necessarily like, and shout out to this YouTuber, obviously Tony. This is I learned a lot from just watching this. It does suck, because I don't want to watch an hour long video. I just want people. I just need people to explain it. Try to absorb it and continue. Okay, J5. Use system D. Oh, yes, this is like how it makes it faster. Um it's like stuff if you don't want it to like compile, it's supposed to save on resources. Okay, we're gonna do MA make OPTS equal J5. And sometimes I just need someone to explain it like out loud. I mean, that's how I kind of figure certain stuff out, like in general. Where I am like, I do not want to compile a web browser in Gentoo. I can't imagine the time. Literally. Yeah, if you compile Linux, if you compile everything through Gentoo, you don't have a girlfriend. And it's okay. No one's gonna hate. So this was like a very informative video that wasn't a fucking hour. I think the compile times are kind of over exaggerated. Reading through the wiki, I think they are over exaggerated. Obviously, it's a hardware thing, but reading through the wiki, you have a lot of control that can remove a ton of bloat that would make compile times longer. This is the point of Gentoo, is the customization to like the T, like a really fine. You can really fine tune it where it even tells you like, hey, like these can have a positive return. Technically, variables can export to via shell RC. You know, they talk about like there's like where you optimize it too much and it causes it to actually not be good. Like it pretty much causes it not to be like actually efficient. It's like, although GCC optimization article has more information on how to various compilation options can affect a system, the safe C flags article may be more practical for beginners starting to optimize their system. There could be like a diminishing return also, most likely. Rust flags based. Etc. portage make config mount gentoo etc. portage main config. Okay. And then we'll do, just in case I want to do some Rust stuff, Rust C tech big C target tech CPU equal help. Now the guy that does it, he was doing a different OpenRC install system. Let's clear that out. I decided not to, so I did that. Ready, set, go. Update to match personal preference. Now users would press Control O and then Control X. Installing the base system. Distros like Arch and Gentoo aren't difficult to use because they are actually extremely well documented. The difficulties people find are actually skill issues. I do agree that some of it is a skill issue, and it's fine. It's like there's nothing wrong with that's how you learn. You learn, like, I think when something is well, there I had a slight argument, not with somebody. On the other hand, NixOS, in my opinion, is really difficult to use from my experience because the documentation is shit. I don't get the hype over NixOS. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't get it. But someone was like, there are some developers and like other people like people that do this. I have had discussions with where I'm like, I think well documentation is super, super, super important. And they're like, some people have been like, no, the documentation isn't important. What shows like a good OS is where it doesn't need documentation. I'm like, that's no, because you're gonna run into problems. It'd be cool in a perfect world, grandma. You know, some people say grandma ready, and it is a nice sentiment, but I don't think people make like people think CubesOS is super complicated and like not a beginner distro. It's not even a distro. It's a hypervisor. The biggest problem I've run into with CubesOS right now is CTAP proxy. Don't know what the fuck it is. Not working. And something else that's very specific to me, where I'm not like super annoyed because I can just, as long as I can set up 2FA, it doesn't really matter. But that's just how I look at it. Now, install the Gentoo base system. Cherooting. Copy DNS info. I'm just gonna do a sanity check. So this person removes that. Have you quit? Vim user mentioned, guys. Installing the Gentoo base system. Okay. Okay, so I am going in the right direction. Okay. There and the thing is, like, I forgot where NixOS even came out of. It came out of kind of nowhere. Okay, so I'm on the right path. CP tag difference. I still don't, yeah, I don't understand the NixOS. Like, people have used it and they're like, this is the greatest thing to ever exist, but I don't get it. Mount Gentoo etc. Okay. Clear. If using Gentoo's install media, this step can be replaced. So I'm just gonna do this because they do it. They do it in I wonder if there's a specific reason you are installing Gentoo. I mean, like, for development reasons, or is it for fun, or is it, which is both cool reasons for sure. It's really just because I want to. When I do mount types proc, I wonder if he's getting I wonder if he uses the, okay. I'm just doing it because I want to. I mean, and partially because if once I retire my laptop and I get a more, in my opinion, more secure laptop that has core boot on it with heads, uh um with heads, core boot, heads, repairable, open source, which probably is going to be still like well off in the future. So when I retire my laptop, it would be nice to put something like Gentoo on it, and transfer my Cubes OS over to the new one. I don't hate NixOS. It has a unique way to manage binary packages as ephemeral packages that actually completely solve the dependency hell problem on Linux. Yeah, I've heard, and I don't fully understand how this is done, but yeah, I just know that it's a selling point. Yeah, my understanding of it is that it's like you write NixOS to be like, hey, it's portable. Like, you can take it and just, it's supposed to be like, kind of write once and run everywhere. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you can do your, like, you can make a Nix OS to be super portable, customizable, and portable, and whatever. So you don't have to keep. It's like you can reset the environment or something, like, constantly. Oh, okay. The make art. So mount ty types proc When you say retiring, do you mean when you get old? No, not me retiring. Like I'm retiring my laptop. Like when I want to move to a better laptop. Yeah, you can clone the same system. 1,000 machines will just with just some config files. Yeah, that was my premise of it. I mean like retiring my PS, my PC, my laptop. Gentoo proc rbind. Rbind sys mount Gentoo. Old age 65. True. Okay, funny misunderstanding. Gentoo sys. Okay. In America is definitely going to be like 75 plus. Let's be real. Mount, make. rslave mount Gentoo tech sys mount. And the funny thing is like I'm like I don't want to get like retired at that age. I want to retire young. Not I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be a millionaire or anything, but I do not want to work at 65. That sounds like absolute hell. Retiring something means not daily driving anymore. Oh yeah, yeah, pretty much. Are you a develop? Are you a DevOps engineer or something like that? I wonder. No, I'm definitely not. I'm just some guy on the internet that likes free and open source software. I mean, like the reason I discovered Linux was because Windows was a really bad system to run on very low hardware when I was like not making a lot of money, and I had a laptop that I bought and it was just didn't fucking want to run, and I found Linux, and then um I mean the rest is history, to be honest. Our slaves. Okay, so type 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 r bind. And after dev, I started after I installed Linux, I pretty much traded something for a server, got a server, got into self-hosting, which led me to like what is good security, like what is good privacy, and that's it. I mean, that's pretty much what it came down to. 1 2 4 5. Make our slave. Huh. Phil can't look up. Okay. Oh, that's what it is. I got into Linux because I've always loved computers and I'm a fan of media archival and preservation, consumer rights, and right to parent freedom. Yeah, those are all good things to like. those are all good things, and I am actually super happy that people. Oh, that's what it is. I'm super happy that people are becoming more aware of that. I already had this thing in my personality before I discovered Linux. Yeah, it's good because I think that those are not only good things, but like, oh, use Rust, right? Yeah, I do like Rust, and I'm learning it. I think it's a cool language. Um, I think people ought to have the choice. If I purchase something, I ought to have the choice to put whatever I want on it. And the disagreements that I come across that I dislike. The things that I dislike is, well, just don't buy the product. Well, you don't have choice. I mean, most laptops come pre-installed with Windows. We're just now getting Linux laptops, and like, that's not a good thing, in my opinion. Right to repair should be the default. Hmm. And the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems, is these companies have tricked people into literally being okay with it. Hmm. Instead of learning how to fix it or repair it or have the option. Oh, nice. What do you code in? literally. But guys, Adobe, who's a demon company, by the way. And because Adobe has dominated and saturated the world with their product, there's no real competition. Oh, nice. C based. I'm literally the opposite. I may have to have all that freedom. Yeah. DaVinci Resolve is a close contender for a drop-in replacement for what do you call it? It is a drop-in replacement for Final Cut Pro. But we also have an industry of people that are like, yo, I could not make music or I could not make this if I didn't have a MacBook. I tried learning C, by the way. I could not. I think Rick, you know, I think Richard Stallman doesn't. I'm pretty sure you can't use the word Linux in front of him. Hmm. I'm just gonna do a sanity check. I did skip the mounting part. I think that was the issue. This is where I disagree with Richard because his GNU utilities are just one implementation of the Unix commands. You can literally use any other implementation and have Linux system without GNU, but not the opposite. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have pointed out that Linux, the GNU Foundation, is somewhat extreme. Me and CY Klept or whatever his username is, I can never pronounce it, but whatever. Wyclef 86 or something. We looked over Hyperbola Linux not too long. Hyperbola GNU / Linux not too long ago, and okay, maybe I didn't do bin bash. Okay, um, I so I think my biggest problem is very extreme viewpoints like this actually make it hard for people to want to use Linux. To be completely fair. Yeah, I need them Twitch views, man. I'm trying to get partnered so I can become a sellout. I need like 30 more followers. Yeah, but the reach on Owncast would be pretty difficult. And I don't have good hardware for it. I have thought about it though. It's cool. I just use Restream. There is a FOSS version though, I think. I forgot what it's called though, but I was like contemplating that. Restream just, they're free and it works very clean. I agree. Oh, I'm never going to take away what he did. I think what Richard Stallman and Lance Troll did was great. Like when people try to cancel Richard Stallman and get him removed from the GNU Foundation because he said some weird shit, I actually fully disagree with that. I think that was the cringiest thing that a board of people did it in the free sock movement. Like what his opinions are whatever. Like genuinely. Don't follow him on Tusky, you know what I mean? Or I mean on Mastodon, because he fucking writes, man. He writes a lot, like daily. He said terrible shit, but he apologized. Yeah. He said weird shit. I'm not taking away the weird shit he said. But I don't think that I mean, look at from his point of view, his perspective is free, you know, freeze and freedom. So his thoughts are probably, they probably run the same. You know, he will not like stream people with, like if he does an interview with people, like you have to like adjust to his like his philosophy in FOSS. He will not do interviews with proprietary software. It's kind of crazy. I mean, kudos on the principles. Like genuinely. I can respect someone that takes it to the, you know, the full level. I don't know why this conversation reminded me of this, but I can't wait till Doom comes out. The Dark Ages looks awesome. Um, it won't let me. I've tried. When I figure out how to do it, I will though. He pretty much just said that. I don't care about the weird politics around Mr. Sullivan either. What I care about is he never in a million years gave up a competence in a free software movement. Yeah, I think he did like good things. I don't care about his weird politics. It makes sense why he thinks like this, though. I mean, I respect it too. Like at the end of the day, he stands by his principles. There's an interview I saw him where he's like, I speak in paragraphs. Like people might think he just rambles on, but all I think is he's just like he probably just. I mean, he's probably very autistic. I could be wrong. I could be completely 100% wrong, but that's the perception I get. His social skills are not terrible. Remember when he ate his he put his foot in his mouth though? Yeah. I'm glad Linux exists. Mm-hmm. I know a guy who has very interesting requirements for his Linux distro of choice. He was actually mostly. Oh, avoid Linux. Yeah, I mean, if you, I was just gonna say he's definitely has autism. Probably. I watched like earlier videos of younger him, and I'm like, no one knew, no one saw this. And then he put his foot in his mouth on live TV, which was funny. I know a person that uses BSD, like they don't game, so Not needed. No, I have not. But I didn't know you spoke Spanish until someone told me. Stum and rage. Yeah, give me 1 second. Okay. I just gotta see this video. It's so funny.
We're actually using a form of compiler when we do our graphical design. What we do is converted into code. Now, even if Nightmare Knotter itself has, by some divine miracle, managed to escape any and all software patent traps, is it not possible that what it produces, without any managed to
software patents until 1980, and you know, they might still, they could issue a patent on loops. It would be like the Australian patent.
Not this, but okay. Man, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Not this, but okay.
Has control over the state's computing. That must not be.
Okay, commenting on the death of Steve Jobs, you're quoted to say, "I'm not glad he's dead, but I'm glad he's gone." Well, I think
what an insane take.
was the mayor of Chicago about his
Something similar,
yes. Yeah,
yes.
something similar.
I tried to quote that. I didn't quote it exactly right. I posted an extra correction.
Well, what was wrong with him? You mean the ideology?
Steve Jobs figured out how to build computers that were prisons, jails for the user, and how to make them stylish and chic.
Which makes him a genius. Which does make him a genius.
It made him an evil genius. Yeah. He did harm to the world because he convinced people to...
Yeah, it was on the first one on the previous page. Oh, but that one's funny.
What? I asked at the beginning who would fail to understand, and they said equal numbers raised their hands for each language. So I made what I think is a good decision, and I see no reason to change it. Do you see any additional information why I should change my mind?
I think these people thought they understood English, but they don't understand English.
¿Quién no me comprende?
Conversa fiada.
No sé qué hacer. No voy a repetir lo que he dicho. Pero I don't know what the hell to do.
Who would not understand me if I said this in Spanish? Who would not understand if I had said this in Spanish?
It's always funny that, like, I forget that Richard Stallman fucking speaks Spanish. It's always funny. But he doesn't know how to, he's never installed Linux himself. Remember that. He has so many memeable, like, Linus Torvald doesn't have really any memeable moments besides the one where he's like fucking NVIDIA. He will snap soon, wait for it. But before I continue that, yeah, like the one from Linus Torvald is like, fucking NVIDIA. Like, we all know that. But Richard Stallman's got like so many memeable moments. Maybe he forgot to take his meds today. Oh, shit. I didn't know. Yeah, he doesn't speak Portuguese. The audience was asked whether they want Stallman to present in Spanish, similar to Portuguese, or if they have present in English. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of, like Portuguese and Spanish completely different. Obviously it's similar, but because it's like I've been told by people that are like, yeah, there's shit that just doesn't.
What the hell am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do? Start over? Well, if I don't start over, they'll never understand anything. They won't know what it's about. What the hell am I supposed to do? There's no option.
Oh my God. Richard Stallman's biggest dilemma would be like, it'd be like having zero options. Because that's like the point of GNU is like to give you options. I can imagine that, like, that's his personal hell. That's just his 13th reason why. That's his 13th reason is having zero options. Like if he went into like a burger joint and they're like, he's like, what are the options? And they're like, just a cheeseburger and just a fry and a Coke. Oh, and by the way, the Coca-Cola machine and the fry and the burger, secret recipe, proprietary. Do you think he'd still eat? Probably not. I'm talking like this is the only restaurant. Look at the first comment on the video. No. Colonel Panic. What the hell am I supposed to do? There's no option. Has now become my motto in life. It applies to so many situations. It's too late. Don't you see? Richard Stallman. I love how it went from a lecture to an argument over a language to comedy, then awkward, then tragic. A play in 5 act. Guys, Lance Troubled is cursing to people so hard. Yeah, Troubled is out there inventing new curse words every day. I mean, he's Finnish and English. Well, no, Finnish and American. So the crazy part is he's an American citizen. And his shit is in Portland. Like his a foundation or something. I would love to meet Linus Torvald at least one time. Linux Fest does happen in the United States, and I just forget. It's always Torvald curses my boomer or drunken uncle. Oh, like your boomer or drunken uncle? I'm assuming, yeah. I mean, Europeans fucking swear all the time. People in that general area of that part of the world. Linus Torvald called OpenBSD developers something really bad. That's kind of funny. I love, what the hell am I supposed to do? Install Gentoo, Richard? Oh my God. Dude, someone said it, Gentoo, install Gentoo, Richard. But he won't, because he could, The GNU Foundation considers Gentoo non-free software, and they don't give you options or something. I was like, why isn't Gentoo considered GNU approved? His mind was caught up in an infinite loop. I give up. Fuck it, Richard Stallman. They understood fuck it at least. In his defense, he was speaking in front of Brazilians. When you're not hungry, have a Snickers. I don't want to record the recordings of this to be published. For the interested viewer, I also want you to notice that Stallman is concerned about the first part of his speech overall, where if you know his speech is about to be four essential freedoms and the rights a software user deserves. So all of this, his later explanation doesn't make sense, are very well likely to be misrepresented. In the first part, it wasn't understood properly. It is quite common in the Q&A section after speeches that people still have huge misconceptions about free software. And even if they listen to him without any language barrier, furthermore, notice how he attributes the failure to himself and not to the audience. Interesting. I'll try to make myself continue. It's not easy. Richard Stallman, you and me both. Brazilian people are like, well, yeah, cool shit. Now, can you repeat all that in Portuguese so we can understand? Stallman was not prepared to Brazil. Let the hate flow through you. I love the comment section. It's always the funniest. It's really weird to ask somebody to change languages midway through speech, especially if there was a vote. They will look up and shout, no, okay, I don't know what that means. He always had enormous difficulties with social interactions, which is probably public figure. Yeah, imagine being a public figure and like being autistic.
I don't know what you think I'm going to do.
How do you have this freak out and you just sit down? That's peak. That's peak.
Useless. It's failed already. It's irrevocably failed. I give up.
Me after I try to install Gentoo. So I didn't know that Gentoo is actually a penguin. The Gentoo penguin is a species of bird in the genus Stegosis, mostly closely related to the Anadili. A chinstrap penguin. It's the third largest penguin is species. Apparently, he said open developers are masturbating monkeys who overglorify security issues. That is a weird thing to say. Overglorify security. Oh, like they think that. I don't know. I mean, OpenBSD, I'm not entirely aware of their security. Okay, now that I'm true. From this point on, all actions to perform are immediately on the Gentoo Linux environment. If Gentoo installation is interrupted anywhere at this point, it should be possible to resume the installation at this step. There's no need to repartition the disk. Again, simply mount the root partition and run the above steps above with the copying DNS info to re-enter a working environment. This is also useful for fixing bootloader issues. More information be found in the root article. I've heard that Linus Torvald is somewhat of an asshole. Is there a separate chat because I can only see? Yes, I'm in a main chat. Like I'm in a cockpit, you could say, and I am streaming to both Twitch and YouTube. Because I want to get them dollars up, and become a millionaire via streaming about Linux and watching Richard Stallman have a stroke. What's this? Yo, RTP based. Okay, so let me just go here. Now that the new environment has been entered, it is necessary to prepare the new environment for the bootloader. It will be important to have correct partition mounted when it's time to install the bootloader. Mount. But I can see everyone's comment. No worries. We're all in this together. All 7 of us. Oh, very, very cool. Do you guys have an IRC chat server? No, just Discord, SimpleX, Matrix. I'm on IRC or XMPP or something. I'm on a couple different like places, but where I host my main information for people to communicate if they want to communicate with others, Discord, SimpleX, and Matrix. And if you want to join them, you just go into the I have a get stack link. I have a link stack. It's kind of like it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. Linktree. It's like Linktree but open source and self-hostable. But yeah, my SimpleX, I don't know why that's there 4 times. I'm gonna have to fix that. My SimpleX chat, Odyssey. You can find me on Odyssey. The bunker, for Discord, Matrix, and then YouTube. It just makes it much easier. I had like a lot of links in my profile, and this was the mailing list post where he said that. Oh, I need to open up that. Well, so far I'm concerned disclosing is the fixing the bug. It's the look at the source approach. By the way, you may not like this since you are focused on security, and one reason I refuse to bother with the whole security circus is that I think that it glorifies and thus encourages the wrong behavior. It makes heroes out of security people. As if the people who don't just fix normal bugs aren't important. In fact, all the boring normal bugs are way more important just because there's a lot more of them. I don't think that some spectacular security hole should be glorified or cared about as being any more special than a random spectacular crash due to bad blocking. Security people are often black and white kind of people that can't just stand. I think the OpenBC describes a bunch of masturbating monkeys in the way that's such a big deal about concentrating on security to them, point where they pretty much admit that nothing else matters to them. To be security is important, but it's no less important than everything else. That's also important. Linus. Wow, that's crazy. In 2008, he was calling people, saying people were masturbating monkeys. That's kind of funny. If you think about it, I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't see an issue with it. People can disagree on stuff, and humans are obviously going to attack other humans, especially if they don't like each other. They're not going to think logically and be like, let me ask them philosophical questions to see why I don't like them. They're generally going to ask them. They're going to generally treat them lower and maybe insult them. Oh, okay, so I'm in the live CD, so I can just check real quick. LS. First LS. Be okay. Okay. So we're gonna mount. Dev S BDA 1 EFI. Configure portage. Some of the OpenBSD fans retaliated and called him a computer science dropout. Oh. Yeah. I mean, it's good to care about security, but yeah, I love the FOSS community. Awesome, man. I'm a moderator of a programming community. You are always welcome to hang out if you like me to share. I don't want to look like I'm promoting stuff here. Yeah, that's fine. Just DM me and on Discord. Because if it's malicious or anything, I don't want other people to click it. Not that it can or cannot be, but remember, trust nothing and no one. I mean, I get why he would drop out. Kind of. I mean, if you have a really popular project and it is taking up most of your time, there's no point in being in school. And security is important, but I do have a slight pushback against it to a certain degree. Security only matters if you care about it. I think it should matter, and you should convince people that it matters, and it's great. And we shouldn't paywall security. We shouldn't have bad security practices. But at the same time, it's a choice. It's up to you. If you think that security is important and it's amazing and it's the first and foremost, all for it. But if you do not, you're not going to convince someone that it's worth the effort to care. Because some people not. I like flip phones are an example. I think flip phones are a terrible idea because they use insecure SMS. There is really no option to do anything to obtain that good quality security, especially that Signal offers. And that Android isn't a sandboxing point. Yeah, that's fine. Or just drop your email in one of my comments, like one of my drop your if you want to drop you can drop your email or something in one of my comment in one of my videos. OpenBSD is actually a great project. They got OpenSSH, OpenSSL, and really awesome stuff. Yeah, I don't think OpenBSD is a bad project. Okay, let's first do. I could have sworn there was something they did beforehand. I was distracted at work and with the volume low. I thought you had a domestic going on in you. Tim. That's funny. I was distracted here at work. Sure, man, of course. You'll probably see me even. You probably see me even if you do a YouTube search on C programming, probably. Oh, okay. I was distracted at work with the volume low. I thought you had a domestic going on at your oh, like fighting. Just hearing Richard Stallman. Oh my god, yeah, hearing Richard Stallman yell in the background in Spanish would be really fun. It would be funny. Hmm. Okay. C programming. The dad of all C program of all programming. Headed underground for work. Keep plugging it away. I kind of like Casio OS myself. It's easy. Yeah. Casio is cool. I personally don't use it anymore. I had it. There was an issue I ran into with it. I kind of don't. I ran into like an issue that's just like kind of irked me. And I just went back to Garuda. But it's awesome that people are like using more and more people are using Linux. Like, I think it's great. Okay. On slow terminals such as reading the news, important two nights in red. Can do. Underground for work. That's gotta be kind of crazy. You go into like a sinkhole. E-select. There, I'm pushing Linux too. Nice, yeah, it's very awesome. Okay. Default Linux AMD desktop stable. Mineshaft 1,000 meters. Nice. Very cool. Wonder if I pick 24. Set. God, in a mineshaft. That's gotta be kind of crazy though. Like you just, if you're all alone in the dark, probably not alone. I'm assuming. Never. That's fine. When I think of mineshafts, I think of the 1930s. Hey, how far are you now? Not much farther than I was before. But farther than I was before. Okay. There we go. Multi-lib? No. Oh, I think no, I am doing multi-lib. Wow, 1,000 meters is amazing, man. More power to you. Yeah, I'm afraid of holes. Not like the tretinophobia people like, but I don't like holes. Well, that might take a while. I gotta compile, so we can look at funny memes. We should just do Richard Stallman.
It was Richard Stallman, who's famous for his long time advocacy of free software and the free software movement. He was involved with the GNU Project. The way he was talking about it today, he paired up with
in 19 75, when I worked at the Artificial Intelligence Lab at MIT, I
How
worked
old is
with
this?
Professor
Oh god, he's so
Sussman,
old.
and we developed an
It's actually
artificial
GNU slash
intelligence
Linux.
program
True.
that
If you
could
mispronounce
figure
it, you
out the
are.
behavior
God,
of
he's so old now, man. It makes me sad. I've never installed GNU slash Linux. My favorite meme next to the foot one. I need to watch this one where he debates. Isn't that crazy? Just looking at these two videos right here, it's like young Richard Stallman, old Richard Stallman. You never really think about you never think about getting old. The GNU Linux double standard. Stallman responds to GNU copy pasta prime reacts. Huh. Interesting. Okay, finally. I was like, that's not a person I know. I seen him once with short hair, and it was jarring. Richard singing about free software is one of my favorite memes. Is that where he sings in like Spanish or something about email and free software? I forgot he sings too, man. He is like he's a strange human being in like a good way. It's kind of funny. By the way, man, I finished watching the previous stream yesterday. I just want to say that I really appreciate the way you dealt and tried to. Oh, people are. I mean, people are gonna be fucking rude on the internet. It's the internet, man. I don't really. I don't really. How to explain it? I don't really care about people. Like, not in a mean way. But I don't care about people's opinion on the internet. Change use. That's what I forgot. Oops. There we go. Yeah, kind of. Their argument was that if and look, people can disagree with me or not. I don't really care. Um while this is compiling, uh their argument was that if you if you can take something apart, it doesn't mean you know how to put it back together. I think that is kind of a stupid sentiment in itself. Like Dwarf Fortress is inevitable. Yeah. And I was like, well, if you take a part of something, if like my argument was like, they're like, you're not experienced enough to do Gen 2. And I'm like, okay. And that's how you learn. I was like, how you learn is by doing, right? There's a lot of stuff that you probably don't know how to do, and you learn by doing. And if you have good documentation, and this is all my statement was, you have good documentation, and you know how to read, and you know how to dismantle it, and ask questions, and etc. etc. You can pretty much do it. There's no, I don't think there's a skill thing. Like it's like a skill thing, especially with something where we have. This is the most documentation we've had ever at available tips. It's not everything's perfect. So I was pretty much like, take the engine of a car. If you can take it apart, you most likely could put it back together. Hopefully you know how to put it back together. And if you document it and you read the manual and you go through the right steps, you should be able to put it back together. I mean, I was just using it as purely as an analogy. And then they told me they were a software developer for 15 years and they were drunk. And what else? What else did I learn? I learned a lot of like silly stuff. It's like no one forces you to like join my stream, just like any other stream. Like you can be mad, you can say your opinions. It doesn't really matter. It's just the internet. Yeah, people being rude is inevitable. Yeah, of course. And I look like if people are nice to me, I'm gonna be nice back. That's all it is. But if you're being like, if you're being a cunt, then I'm not gonna. I don't care. I'm not gonna take you serious or be nice. I used to describe Arch that way. It's like buying a new car and then having to mail you all the parts and you have to put it together. Yeah, that's how Arch is. I truly respect the patience you showed. It was very cool how you handled it. It can very relate how it is. Yeah. I mean, I personally just there's people that come in here all the time and they have their opinions. They're allowed to. But if they start projecting like their insecurities onto me, I'm just like not gonna care. Yeah, and that is a good way to put Arch. Is like it's like a car. You pick out Gen 2 gives you more even more choice, which just because you don't know how to do something or it's above your skill level or whatever doesn't mean you shouldn't attempt to do it. Like this isn't gonna kill, and this is why I run it in a virtual machine. I'm not hurting anything. I can redo it. It's pretty easy to fuck up and roll back. You know what I'm saying? It's funny people get so elitist around something that they forget that they were once new at it. I will never understand. Yeah, me neither. I mean, I personally do say RTFM, but with I say it with love. Like genuinely. Yeah, true to that. Like RTFM is, I mean it from a deeply truly spot. Sometimes reading the fucking manual fixes a lot of shit, and then you know how to go back and fix it. I've been using Linux for a very, very, very long time, I do not remember everything. I remember the commands that benefit me, not benefit other, like what other people do, if that makes sense. Like if I need to navigate Linux, I have the commands that I use on a daily basis. I have the tools that I use on a daily basis. I know how they work, and I just use them as is. And I don't go beyond that. Like I don't like, let me learn like this, and this. Like I don't have the desire to. But there are ventures that I will, veer off to, be like, hey, this looks really cool. Let me check it out and figure out how it works and install it, or et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I gotta install Vim. I say RTFM most of the time, but they're like times. Yeah, if if it's a fix that I know that I can just tell them, like, boom, and give them the answer, and it's not like detrimental, I don't care. But like learning how to do it is part of the fun to a certain degree. Like I had a buddy of mine switch over to. I convinced him to switch over to Linux, so I took a responsibility of, like, if they had questions, I wouldn't be like, read the fucking manual, because that's just kind of fucked up. Oh, too many D's. There we go. And I don't think there's anything wrong with also saying like RTFM. Like, hey man, go read the manual. And you might you can point me in the direction. Like, go read this. Maybe this is what the issue is. And you might have never experienced that issue, and instead of lying to them and being like to another person, like, hey, I know what I'm doing. Like, if you don't. Oh my god, yeah. Have you ever had that happen? Where it is a problem that RTFM does not fix, and you do have to come through 12 years a forum post of like a very specific issue, and you're like, oh my god, I've had so many of those. I'm like, oh, this is a very specific issue. Type, look, fine. I'm like, oh, okay, here's the answer from this one person that had the same issue as me, and they decided to post it, and it's stuck on the internet, which is awesome. Yeah, of course. I mean, it is good to I mean, I'm not gonna like just like be a dick to someone for no reason, unless it's Ryan. Ryan, if you're watching this, fuck you. Oh, okay. Huh. Well, guys, it's been 2 hours. Big sleep. Big sleepy time. Had a sound card way back in the day that many people told me was supporting it and did the fix required, and it still wasn't working. I felt like I was taking crazy pills. These are the dark days of Linux. Yeah. Oh yeah. Audio. Oh my god. Yeah. Sound cards. They're not even really a thing anymore. Oh, god, that's crazy. I think my biggest. I'm trying to think of like the worst experience. Mine was Pop OS. Pop OS, I really, and I don't mean it. I don't want to throw shade at them because I think they're it's still a good company. Fuck their price on their keyboard though. You can suck my dick, and on their bags, but whatever. I had a convert your MP3s to OGG. It's better. Oh, okay. My MP3 play. Oh, my MP3s are for my podcast. They actually every time I try to upload a different file format, like audio format, it just doesn't work. But it's okay. I'm cool with MP3 MP4s. I ended up but having a very specific issue that was like such a nightmare to fix, and it was Pop OS, and it like borked my system. Luckily, I've always separated my home directory and like everything away from like my main important files. Like I put them in separate areas. Say back in the day, because Linux. Oh, that's what I used to say back in the day, because Linux didn't support MP3s. That's so funny. Yeah, I forgot that there's. I mean, Linux has been so usable for the last like 3 to 5 years for me that it's like I forgot about the somewhat like the worst parts of it. Like genuinely the worst. But guys, I'll see you in the next one. And I'll continue from here. Y'all have a good night.